So let me start recording. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Verse 14. Parishrantendriyatmaham Tritparitho bubukshita Snatva pitva hrate nadya Upasprushto ghatasrama Parishrantendriyatmaham Tritparitho bubukshita Snatva pitva hrade nadya Upasprushto gatasrama Parishrantendriyatmaham Tritparitho bubukshita Snatva pitva hrade nadya Upasprushto gatasrama. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaranda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms: Parishranta, being tired. Indriya, bodily. Atma, mentally. Aham, I. Trit parita, being thirsty. Bubukshita, and hungry. Snatva, taking a bath. Pitva, and drinking water also. Rade, in the lake. Nadya, of a river. Upasprishtha, being in contact with. Gata, got relief from. Shrama, tiredness. Translation, please repeat after me. Thus by traveling, I felt tired both bodily and mentally.
Thus traveling, I felt tired both bodily and mentally.
And I was both thirsty and hungry. So I took a bath in a river lake and also drank water.
So I took a bath in river lake and also drank water.
By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion.
By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. A traveling mendicant can meet the needs of the body, namely thirst and hunger, by the gifts of nature, being a beggar at the doors of the householders. Without being a beggar at the doors of the householders. The mendicant, therefore, does not go to the house of a householder to beg, but to enlighten him spiritually.
That's it. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pathaka Swami Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayine Gaurakatha Damadhaya Nagara Grama Tharine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavate Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopala Govinda Ram Srimad Sudanam Mukam Karo Divachalam Pangulum Gaitegirim Yatkrupa Tamahamunde Sri Gurum Tegatharinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Meshwaram Hariyum Tatsat. So Narad Muni, you see how much he is remembering about what happened in his previous life, which is almost one kalpa before. After that, the whole pralaya happened. Everybody went into the Lord Vishnu's body and then they came out. At that time, he came as Narad Muni. And how much clearly a small incident where all he walked, what all he seen, what all he felt, and what was his situation and what did he do. Oh, Gaura Hari, so wonderful. Remembrance is, as fresh as if it is just happened a few minutes ago. This is the transcendental, personality's position. There is no question of forgetting. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Only Krishna gives the remembrance and the forgetfulness. And when it is to be forgotten in the spiritual world, that is Yogamaya, not like Mahamaya here. So that forgetfulness is for the pleasure of the Lord, if at all any forgetfulness. Just like Arjuna could not remember that Krishna spoke to sun god many millions of years before. And Krishna said, yes, you forget and I don't forget it. Now here you see Narad Muni is as good as Lord Krishna in this thing, that Narad Muni did not forget anything at all. So, and he was telling that, okay, he was traveling, he felt tired bodily and mentally. So the word Atma sometimes refers in the Sanskrit for the body, sometimes it is also meaning mind, sometimes it is also meaning soul. So here the Atma is used for mentally. And because Indriya, that is senses is nothing but the body. So the body and mentally, Indriya, Atma. So in this way, when he felt tired, see, both subtly and grossly, when you are tired, I think we generally collapse because we know only conscious of either gross, subtle, or both. And in this consciousness, if the body is tired and the mind is tired, that person is totally collapsed only. He can't move, he can't do anything. But here, he was walking, he was traveling, and when he felt very tired and mentally and physically, then he took a bath. You see, the 5-year-old small boy, he knows the solution for everything, and he was into practice. This is the person's position, even in the material world, in a material body, when he has got a guru. So Narad Muni has got the Bhakti Vedantas as guru. So he was not at all, in confusion or what to do, where to go, why I'm feeling hungry, what I should eat, nothing. Despite he's a small boy, you see. He took baths immediately in the river lake and he drank some water. As soon as he contacted water, he got relief from all kind of exhaustion. So this is the power of water also. The river water like Ganges, when you touch it, then it gives a different relief. It removes all the exhaustion. Not that, okay, if you're hungry, you have to always eat. And Prabhupada is writing in the purport. So, though 5-year-old boy, Narad Muni was a traveling mendicant. He is nothing less than a sannyasi, as good as the Bhakti Vedantas. So, they can, even in the 5-year-old boy, having a material body, he was able to meet the needs of the body, whether it is thirst or hunger. He does not need to go to some householder's house, search for the householder and go and beg for some milk or something that. And still the mendicant is going to house. Why? Like Sukadeva Goswami went. He stays in front of the householder's door only as long as it takes time to milk a cow, and that is only for benefit of that particular householder and not for indriya tripti of self or mental tripti of self. So this is the wonderful movement or activity of a Vaishnava as for Bhakti Vedanta, of a pure devotee, which can never be perceived or understood. Guru Maharaj is going house to house all over the world. He stays in some Grahastha's house, those who are very serious in Krishna consciousness or those who are just beginning in Krishna consciousness, irrespective of their position, he goes only for the benefit of others. He lives for only for the benefit of others. He speaks for only for the benefit of others. So this is the perfect traveling mendicant that you are having on the surface of the earth, and we are so fortunate that he is our guru. So this is the beauty of a Vaishnava. So let's go to the next. Shantagopi, you want to add something?
No, nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to highlight the last statement. A mendicant, therefore, does not go to the house of a householder to beg, but to enlighten him spiritually. Okay, that's it.
Next verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, verse 15. Tasmin nirmanujheranye.
Tasmin nirmanujheranye.
Pipalopasta asrita.
Pipalopasta ashrita.
Anam atmastam. Yata srutam achintayam. Tasmin nirmanujheranye. Pipalopasta asrita. Atmanam atmastam. Yata srutam achintayam. Tasmin nirmanujheranye. Pipalopasta asrita. Atmanatmanam atmastam yata shrutam achintayam. Synonyms. Tasmin, in that. Nirmanuje, with habitation.
Nirmanuje, without human habitation.
Aranye, in the forest.
In the forest.
Pipala, banyan tree.
Banyan tree.
Upaste, sitting under it.
Sitting under
it.
Shelter of.
Shelter of.
Atmana, by intelligence.
Atmana, by intelligence.
Atmanam, the super soul.
Atmanam, the super soul.
Atmastam, situated within myself.
Atmastam, situated within myself.
Yatha Shrutam, as I had heard it from the liberated souls.
Yatha Shrutam, as I had heard it from the liberated souls.
Achintayam, thought over.
Achintayam, thought over.
Translation, please repeat after me. After that, under the shadow of a banyan tree in an uninhabited forest.
After that, under the shadow of a banyan tree in an uninhabited forest,
I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within, using my intelligence. As I had learned from liberated souls.
As I had learned from liberated souls.
Wow. Purport.
One should not meditate according to one's personal will. One should know perfectly well from the authoritative sources of scriptures through the transparent medium of a bona fide spiritual master and by proper use of one's trained intelligence for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within every living being. This consciousness is firmly developed who has rendered loving service unto the Lord by carrying out the orders of the spiritual master. Sri Narad Ji contacted bona fide spiritual masters, served them sincerely and got enlightenment rightly. Thus he began to meditate.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So an initiated devotee does nothing but think of his spiritual master, who is a Bhakti Vedanta, and practice the instructions given by them. Shantagopal, would you like to take it further?
Haribol?
Yeah, you would speak.
Yeah. So it's a very, very beautiful verse and very special verse for us to clearly understand how in Krishna consciousness, the terms which are generally used by the common public, that is not the actual term which Prabhupada is using. For example, consciousness. So here we can see that there is so very different understanding of what is actually meditation. Okay. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Mugam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Gitkrapatam Mande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Jai Pataka Swami Niti Namni Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripaktatayani Gaura Katha Damadaya Nagara Gravatarni Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Niruse Shunyavadi Paschatya Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So here, Narada Muni is going to is sitting, and he is roaming around. We saw that the previous verses, that how he saw the various landscapes, he saw that the agricultural land, forest, very happy, beautiful lakes and rivers with the lotus and all. At the same time, the bumblebees and other things, and then also very dangerous forest where jackals and the snakes playground like this. And then he comes, he feels thirsty and hungry after all this time. And then he wants to, he finds a beautiful place where he drinks water in a lake, and then he takes bath and freshens up. Then he feels very nice, relieved. When you touch water, you feel relieved. That's why we have Achaman. So when we have Achaman cup, and Prabhupada taught us how to touch water before we touch the deities or do any pouring water to Tulsi, we are touching water. Same way, here after that, he's sitting under the banyan tree. Whatever information he has received from his spiritual master, he's meditating upon that. It's not like meditation. Here it's written, Prabhupada translating, I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within. So there are people who try to search God within. Oh, why you are searching outside? He's within. But you don't know what is within. You don't have a spiritual master, and the spiritual master didn't reveal you the personal form of the Lord. So you cannot search like that. Okay, he's meditating on the Lord, not searching. If somebody searches something within, then they're crazy. They have to have a spiritual master who will guide them. Even yoga processes, Ashtanga Siddhi Yoga has Acharya Parampara. They have Parampara system. There is a system. Dhyana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Niyama. Like this, there are steps they have to follow even for that meditation. But here, this meditation of Narada Muni is so sweet. Super soul within, using my intelligence, not by mind, but by intelligence. So intelligence is superior to mind. This is mentioned by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. How he's comparing, he's giving an analogy of a chariot, and how the intelligence is superior to, is considered like a driver. And there are two people traveling, the owner also, who is actually the Krishna, and also another person. That is me as a spirit soul in this body. The body belongs to Krishna, actually. So Kshetra Kshetrajna, in the chapter you will see. So here the intelligence is being used. How the intelligence will be used, as I had learned from the liberated souls. So how does Srila Prabhupada and liberated souls, how they give us the purports, how they give us the explanation is, it's a holistic perspective of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His name, form, qualities, pastimes, entourage, his material and spiritual creation, the difference between them, we as a spirit soul, and who is Vishnu, who is super soul, who is Bhagavan, who is Paramatma, who is Brahman. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the effulgent form as a light is Brahman. The same spirit, same Supreme Personality of Godhead is in three perspectives one can approach. One is as Brahman, some people approach as Brahma Jyoti. That is also an effulgence coming from the Supreme Lord. And Paramatma, who is the localized aspect of the Supreme Lord existing in everybody's heart and atom, and also as Shiroda Sai Vishnu. In this material universes only, these Vishnus, Purusha avatars are not there in the spiritual world. Spiritual world, you have separately various Narayana forms like Keshava, Madhava, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, like this, many forms, and Vaikuntha planets, and then Goloka, like this. A holistic perspective is God. When we are connected with Bhakti Vedanta, we are very fortunate to be connected with His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That we are also getting a holistic perspective. So our meditation should be holistic. Sometimes the meditation is sometimes in material world, you have some dhyana yoga centers, some meditation, you meditate on light, you meditate between your eyebrows, you meditate this, meditate whatever your likely object, meditate on a scenery. These are all considered meditation, or it's all completely bogus. And when we come into authorized also, If it is going to be yogic process of Ashtanga Siddhi Yoga, the meditation is on Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Vishnu. That also is in an 8-inch form of Vishnu with all this paraphernalia, but in a standing form. Not in a moving form, not playing, not talking, not walking, but in a static form of Vishnu. That is also Ashtanga Siddhi Yoga. So that's also complete in itself. So in Bhakti Yoga is a culmination of all other yoga process. We get Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Siddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga, everything is Bhakti Yoga is, if you just follow the process of Bhakti Yoga, you have already perfected in all these things. The perfection of all these processes is automatically embedded within this within the Bhakti Yoga process. So why I will meditate on the Lord who is non-moving? So the Acharya Parampara, we are so fortunate connected with Bhakti Vedantas that we are also getting holistic perspective. That Krishna, sometimes people say that you have to meditate on Shyama Sundara Krishna standing with the flute, and no, why? He will even walk, he will even talk. I will even meditate on the Supreme Lord who's talking to Arjuna in the war field. At the same time, I'll be talking, meditating on Krishna, who's being tied by Yashoda in the Damodar month when I sing the song of Damodar Ashtagam. So in this way, we get the holistic perspective, because you read the purport, we understand why we are getting the holistic perspective. And anybody who's not having the holistic perspective and keep on telling you, meditate on Shyamasundara form, you meditate when you're chanting, you meditate on, no, I will meditate on name, I will meditate on form. Not I will do it, it's automatically will appear. Form, name, form, qualities, pastimes, entourage, paraphernalia, pastimes, his associates, his avatar, his presence in the material world, and so many, his pure devotees, so many connected with varieties. Krishna means varieties. Krishna is never alone. He's always surrounded by his pure devotees, including his flute is a personality. So in this way, in spiritual world, and everything is spirit soul, including the mud, the dust, the chair, the table, the tree, every single thing is a devotee. So there are so many associates, confidential associates. When we are hearing about Lord Chaitanya, then we are seeing that how always he is surrounded by his associates. At least Nityananda Prabhu will be there, or there will be some servants. And when he is passing through Jarikanta forest, then new devotee animals reciprocate even by humans. And when he goes to Vrindavan, all the animals, birds, everybody recognize him and they come to him. In this way, so many beautiful pastimes we are seeing about the Lord. And when you continuously hear from pure devotees and that get imbibed or engraved within, our heart is a stone-like heart. But when we hear from pure devotees, these kind of information, spiritual informations or spiritual knowledge, then they become engraved within the heart, and we also become Tattva Darshana. So how will we see? By hearing. So I will see. How will I see? The spiritual I will see. How? By hearing from spiritual master. So one should not meditate according to one's own personal whims. Prabhupada is saying one should know perfectly well from the, no, I like it, this is my opinion, I like it, and so on. Okay, you go in your own mental platform, you will not achieve anything. One should not meditate according to one's own personal whims. One should know perfectly well from authoritative sources of scriptures through the transparent medium of bona fide spiritual master by proper use of one's trained intelligence for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within every living being. Even for meditating upon the, what to speak of Krishna's meditation, Gaurangas will easily come when we continuously hear Chaitanya Leela and we go to that places and we can just see that happening there. It is so powerful, and we see that, oh my God, suddenly I remember this. It's not just coming from the memory of the mind, but it is coming from the memory of the soul. So this is like engravement, and it is part of the spirit soul, and it will remain forever. This is what the transformation happens when we hear from pure devotees and get trained. Not just hearing alone, one should know perfectly well from authoritative sources of scriptures through the transparent medium of bona fide spiritual master. If we say Bhagavatam is the authoritative source of scripture, then I should hear from the bona fide spiritual master. I hear Prabhupada's lecture, Guru Maharaj's lecture. I won't settle down. Okay, that Prabhu is taking this, Mataji is taking, he told me that, this, that. No, there may be Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. In the society of Krishna consciousness, we should be able to clearly identify, and especially no need to judge anybody Directly approach the bona fide spiritual master, well known, well achieved, and well guiding spiritual master is presently available in front of our eyes. If we don't take advantage of him, then it's the greatest loss forever. We are the greatest loser. So the bona fide medium of spiritual master alone, we'll get it. So we have Srila Prabhupada's lectures recorded. And we have, of course, Guru Maharaj directly walking into your own city, despite his bodily conditions. Everybody's city, he's just walking in despite any hurdles. And then we are getting the direct audience by him. By proper use of one's trained intelligence, we should get trained for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within the living being. Even for that process, you should have spiritual master. This consciousness is firmly developed by a devotee who has rendered loving service unto the Lord by carrying out the orders of the spiritual master. So for that, first you should have a spiritual master. And how do we offer loving service unto the Lord? Only when you carry out the order of the spiritual master, naturally love for Godhead will sprout within the heart. Not by law. Okay, my spiritual master is there, so I have to go and torture him. You give me this, give me that. Why he is not giving me direct? He won't give you, you're not qualified. He won't even look at your face because you are approaching him with ulterior motive. If you simply casually approach him only for a service purpose and also out of love, mainly out of love, and then out of love you do service to Guru. Then and have faith in him. The basic is faith, a firm faith. We are having faith on so many things. Yeah? We are putting the money in the bank. What faith you have? 1 rupee. Take your purse and see wallet. How much money you have? You will have 1,000, 2,000 rupees. But your 20,000, 2 lakhs, 20 lakhs, everything is residing within the bank. What faith you have that he will just run away? He will say that no, your record is missing, sir. No, such record doesn't exist. You are not account holder in our bank, sir. Sorry. He may say in no time. You're investing so much of all your earnings, everything in the bank, having so much faith on that institution. Why can't you have a little faith on the institution of Acharya Parampara and the living spiritual master around you? A little faith. Why can't you invest? So Sri Naradaji contacted bona fide spiritual masters. Again and again, every purport is insisting this. Prabhupada is insisting this. It's not that, okay, Mataji and Prabhu always. No, you're not. Just read the purport and know the thing. If you genuinely read the purport without bias, just read it. This consciousness is firmly developed by a devotee who has rendered loving service unto the Lord by carrying out the order of the spiritual master. And example is Sri Naradaji. He contacted bona fide spiritual masters, served them sincerely, and got enlightenment rightly. Right enlightenment. After that, meditation begins. Sometimes we see that they are not even initiated. They don't even any attachment to Guru Maharaj, but they will speak advanced concepts. All these are mental feelings. But when you get initiated by spiritual master and really become attached and having full faith in him, full faith not, at least some faith in him, and on his order you act, certainly you will have real realizations. That is reality. That is reality. So this concept of a mirror-like reality, which is not true, that is not real, is also explained by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that there is a kind of feeling which arises from mental platform. And Prabhupada gives an example of a lady who was very attached to worshiping Krishna very nicely. She didn't have spiritual master and all. And one day, her dear, very close, very, very dear son, he died. So she said, how can my son die, Krishna? Why you made him die? Like this. And she threw the deity in the dustbin. So these kind of people we can see all around. They will have lala, kana, lala, like that and all, they'll worship. But at last, if there's something wrong happens in their family, God is not there. Why Krishna did like this? No proper understanding of Krishna consciousness, but still executing. So they have to be streamlined and brought into the formal system of proper Acharya Parampara, initiation, getting attached and properly reading this purpose like this. So we as a preacher should be very clear. We are talking based on clear consciousness of guidance of spiritual master. We are not deviating for any other ulterior purpose in order to give a mental massage to anybody. We are not trying to get followers. The truth is the truth, and certainly the spirit soul, if they are genuine, 100% they'll accept. Prabhupada gave 100% without compromising Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada just went and spoke the truth. It is not that you are all Westerners, so you do like this is so sweet, and you develop relationship among each other, this and that bakwas, no bogus philosophy, just to attract anybody, or not like that. The Supreme Lord is situated within everybody's heart, and if the Lord becomes pleased, the spirit soul becomes pleased. So when we genuinely preach the Krishna conscious philosophy without deviation or interpretation, then naturally we'll get genuine people who take up Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada always said that in the gold shop, the crowd is less. They asked that the crowd is going too much into some institutions, some ashrams. Why there is not so much of crowd here? Then Prabhupada said, of course, go to the imitation jewelry shop. There will be so much crowd. It is easily buyable. And it's so cheap and it's not original. But when you come to the original shop of gold, only some people can purchase. Everybody cannot purchase diamond or original gold. Only very limited number of people can purchase, who can afford. Who's that who can afford? Shraddhavan Jan hai. What is the cost in this Nityananda Prabhu opened a Naam market? In the name market, what is the cost you need to pay is explained by Nityananda Prabhu and Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Godruma Kalpatavi. That Shraddhavan Jan hai, Shraddhavan Jan hai. So Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. So Nityananda Prabhu has opened the name market in Nadiya Godruma, but what is the cost you are paying to purchase it? Shraddhavan Jan hai, Shraddhavan Jan. So you have to have Shraddha. Prabhu Rajna hai, Kuriye Bhiksha, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Siksha. Tell about Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Siksha. So one should have a firm faith on spiritual master, then faith on Krishna will develop. And then based on the faith on Krishna, we will directly request the people to Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Siksha, and they will do it. So sincere souls will come, and this is the way of preaching as well. Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Over to you. Hare Bol? Okay.
Thank you very much. So it is very wonderful that what is the importance of spiritual master, the meaning of meditation after one becomes spiritual master really manifests in a person. And here in this age of Kali, our Acharya Parampara, the same Acharya Parampara, wherein Narad Muni is the second Acharya. And so we know that this is mantra meditation that we are supposed to do in this age of Kali by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare. The meditation on the super soul within living, everything is there inside this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And what we are doing is the similar meditation or the same meditation, you can say, because it is from the same Acharya Parampara that we have received. So we are following the instructions. And the beauty, another thing I can note here is that under the shadow of banyan tree, and the previous words we saw that hunger, thirsty, river, lake. So you saw that everything, even in the previous kalpa, is as good as what we are seeing today. So anyway, there is nothing new to see. There is nothing new to enjoy. Everything is the same. Even in previous kalpa, for the 5-year-old boy, the same banyan tree, same river, lake, water, tired, uninhabited human being in the forest was so dense that no human being was seen. You know, just to see from our limited experience, a small boy, a 5-year-old who has got a material body. Okay, Narad Muni had a material body earlier, the 5-year-old boy. And that person, maybe that small boy of 5 years will be happy forgetting everything for a few moments when he is with friends around and playing. And after friends are gone, he will start looking for his mother and father and will start crying. Then what to speak of this small boy who had no friends? First point. Second point, he is in the forest, dense, utter darkness forest. In the dense forest, there is no human habitation, which means that there is no light also. It would be dark. The forest would be so dense that it would be dark inside even during the daytime. Sunrise hardly enters here and there. So that dense forest, all the river flow, the water sound and banyan trees and so everything would look, fearful in one sense for a small boy of 5-year-old, and he would only cry for mother. But just because he has got a spiritual master, a Bhakti Vedanta, this Narad Muni, small boy, he was a different person. We saw him as really as good as the Bhakti Vedanta mendicant, even in this 5-year-old level. That is the beauty. Prahlad Maharaj also, when he was initiated by the very same Narad Muni, in the very small childhood, he was never fearful about all kind of death situation in which he was, death itself, in which he was put into by his own father. And then he was speaking to his friends and not playing around his friends. He was also small boy and he had friends around, but he was not playing around. He was, teaching. This is the, what do you call, position of a person who has got a spiritual master, even in this very young age of 5. Thank you very much. So if there are any questions, comments, or realization, please share with us.
Yeah, I also would like to add this scientific thing. Like they say that there is another dimension in the world. You cannot go to North Pole. There is another dimension, this, that, and all that. No, you go North Pole, South Pole, East and West, everywhere. The same thing is there. Same forest, same rivers and all. There is no dimension, this, that, and all to confuse. So very simple and clear. We read the scripture, we understand things. That's it. So this kind of atheistic philosophy starts from Big Bang. And there was a Big Bang, there was chemicals. There is a place, there is only vacuum. You cannot breathe, you will die. No, you go underwater also, you will have many living entities and various shapes and sizes, and they are all living. Even when Bhima was pushed inside the water, the Naga people, they took him and then they gave him so much strength and they took away the poison and sent him back and all that. These are all not mythical stories. They are all scientific truths. So what science we are seeing is completely atheistic, and that is really not true. And truth is very simple. So people want something complex, so they are given some foolish information, and the people just believe it without any evidence. So that is not science. That is foolishness, sentiment, or mental speculation. Whatever we are going through is purely a science. That's it. Hari Bol.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So thank you very much for the wonderful satsang, and let's wind up and start sharp at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, followed by Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni's further narrations, what he says that he has experienced in his life. Very, very wonderful thing that he's going to experience, that no history in the past that others would have experienced except Dhruv Maharaj. But Dhruv Maharaj experienced the similar thing only after very, very hardships. But Narad Muni was easily able to obtain that in the 5-year-old that we'll see in the upcoming slokas. So Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vanchubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Patita ki jai. Patita Guru Maharaj ki jai. Jai Bhagavad Satsang ki jai.